Last time on Square Roots, saving the world is for the dogs, but luckily, Amaretsu is on the case. Our pooch meets a peach, an artistic flea, and a man with an orange on his head before barking up the wrong tree. Wait, that's not a tree. It's 8 trees. Wait, that's not 8 trees. It's the legs of a giant spider.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by not Matthew Van Zant, but am joined by John Crimson Helm Brandon.
$5 sign minus 5.
$5 sign minus 5. And Vanessa.
It is I, the gift from the gods, Vanessa.
Mother to us all?
Mother to us all. And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time. And we are getting into Ōkami.
Ōkami!
I like this game, guys. This is not even one of my favorite games for the show. I think it might be one of my favorite games.
What?
Yeah, I think it might be on my top 10 for games.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, and there's just so much to do. I like it a lot. But before we get into the game proper, I think there's some hot gaming news to talk about.
Oh man!
Oh yeah!
And what a week! It's been a big week for gaming news.
Has it been?
Reason.
Oh, there was a big Nintendo Direct this week, right?
Yep. Big Nintendo Direct.
Big one.
Matthew's not here. Breath of the Wild 2 got a name, and it's not Breath of the Wild anymore.
It's not?
No, it's like Tears of the Fallen Kingdom or something.
It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But I thought that was the subtitle. Isn't it Breath of the Wild 2? Oh, it's just called Tears of the
I
Kingdom?
think it's just called Tears of the Kingdom. Or
I like that.
Maybe it is
actually.
Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, but I think it's just Tears of the Kingdom.
I think more sequels should have banned in the original title.
Mm-hmm. Nintendo Switch Online added 3 more Sega Genesis games, including like a real B-side favorite of mine, Alicia Dragoon, which was by Game Arts, who did Grandia and Lunar.
Oh yeah,
and
Grandia.
It's like a side-scrolling. It's a very easy side-scrolling platform game about a lady who can like summon dragons, and like dragons are her allies. It's pretty cool. And the art is apparently by Gainax, who did stuff like Evangelion. And also Beyond Oasis and Earthworm Jim, whose creator is problematic, as
Oh no!
would say. I don't know if you've seen anything of that. There's a lot of stuff at that Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I think it is just called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Oh God, there's so much. Okay, I don't want to take all the hot gaming news, but so I'll take a break. But I have plenty more.
Ooh, I have one. They are re-releasing GoldenEye 007. But there's a big but to that. Online multiplayer will only be available on the Switch. It will not be available on consoles.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh. That sucks.
Online multiplayer only. That I was so stoked for GoldenEye news, and then I saw that about the online multiplayer, and that sucks real hard.
Because the Switch has the worst online. Why would
I know.
they do that? I mean, at least
it
you
is
can play
awful news.
4 players at like if you don't mind getting COVID, you can have people over to your house. And
yeah, who does that anymore? Who has a 4-player co-op party at their house? You did for your birthday.
Yeah.
it's not something you do regularly.
I had
know,
friends over for your birthday.
That is something that I do. Like, I definitely, in pre-pandemic times, had lots of friends over to play Perfect Dark. The 360 version was great. So I'm very excited about this.
When I was a younger man, I had people come over all the time to play Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead, and there were a couple other shooters that we would play all the time.
I used to have,
but it doesn't really happen anymore.
Halo LAN parties. We'd like have 4 Xboxes all networked together.
Oh, see, I'm a little too young for. I remember playing Halo with my friends, but I would never attended a LAN party.
Yeah, and Vanessa.
But I grew up in the sticks.
Yeah,
I'm 26. If I had,
I'm canonically the oldest person on the podcast.
yeah.
You're 29.
If I had been alive in the 90s, I think like a super cool thing to have done with my friends probably would be to do like a overnight lock-in at an internet cafe where you just like play games and
oh, cool.
shit.
That does sound really fun, actually.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm not old enough to have ever experienced that. It would have made like a great 18th birthday party.
That was your 18th? That's a cool 18th.
That would be your hypothetical 18th birthday party.
My hypothetical 18th birthday party.
Dear Diary, I wish my 18th birthday party was in an old school LAN cafe.
If this was back in the 90s, what games would you have played? Or early 2000s? Early 2000s?
Like probably a little bit of something like a StarCraft-ish kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that, But then I think it would be really cool if there was also like a theater in the back, like a little art house kind of theater, so you could just like put on spontaneous shows and shit like that.
Spontaneation.
Like Spontaneous Nation.
Whose line is it
and like
anyway?
just mess around with your friends and do some shit.
Like 18-year-olds do.
Yeah, and then when you turn 18 at the stroke of midnight, the cake can come out and you can have a cake.
Stripper emerges.
The stripper emerges. You're finally legal. Bam, bam, bam.
That's what happens to everybody's 18th birthday party. Whether you want it or not.
And nobody wants it. What were we talking about? Hot gaming news? I have some hot gaming news.
Oh, what is it?
My hot gaming news is about Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. This is an upcoming game for the Switch, which is a remake of Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, but it lost the Harvest Moon title due to some rights issues. So now it is Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, a remake of the GameCube Harvest Moon game, but this time they're going woke, #going broke. You'll be able to play as a male, a female, or a non-binary character, and they're opening up all of the dateable and marriageable characters to a person of any gender. Thanks, Obama. As a Harvest Moon fan, I am excited about this remake. I played the original, but the version I had, you could only be a boy man, and I think that, and I might be wrong about this, but in some of the original Harvest Moon games, when they would allow you to play as a woman, the game would end at your marriage. Because that's the end goal for women.
Is that real?
I have such a memory of that being real, and I realize I have not verified it.
Wow, that is awful.
Wow.
Were you like playing it and you're like, what? What?
Well, I mean, that's the end goal for a woman, right? So there's no reason to keep working your farm. You have a husband. Let's see. Harvest Moon girl ending. Can I continue after marriage? Blah, blah, blah. The girl version of the game ends after you get married. No kids, no
Harvest Moon is
continuing. It does not say.
Maybe it's the first one.
I think Harvest Moon 3, it's saying, ends after marriage. Harvest Moon 3 and Harvest Moon Back to Nature.
There's so many Harvest Moons.
There are, and some of them are better than others.
So are you excited about
you
this?
Don't say.
So does it have anything to do with It's a Wonderful Life? Is It's a Wonderful Life now open source? Movie open source?
No and no. No
Okay.
to both of those questions.
What's the
Does
word?
not have
Public
anything to
domain.
do with It's a Wonderful Life, and It's a Wonderful Life is not public domain.
Okay.
Public domain is for things that aren't profitable IPs. Thank you.
That's a hot take. And unfortunately, probably pretty true in a lot of ways. Because eventually here, we're going to have another court case about that old Mickey Mouse,
Yep.
Disney got their extension once. Will they get it again?
They got kind of a hostile political situation. We'll see what happens. Go woke, go broke, guys. Am I right?
Whoa.
I have noticed a few years ago, I noticed that Disney had started using Mickey Mouse as a trademark at the beginning of their films. They have like a little Steamboat Willie clip of him doing his whistle thing, because trademark can be protected indefinitely as long as it's still in use. So I believe that's why now when you go see a Disney movie, you'll see like the little Steamboat Willie.
Wow.
Wow.
They
That's
do
what I think the
not want
scheme
that
is.
to go public domain.
They do not want it to go public domain. And yet,
Oh,
we
so
want it to.
Can I
Bring on those derivative works.
Yeah.
Can I give you another little piece of hot gaming news?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, there was hold on. Wait. I had it. What was it? There was a big one. Oh, yeah.
You were ready for this.
Fitness boxing. The Switch exercise game is coming out with a new version, and it's got the most bonkers license ever. It's great. Jim, do you know the game or the anime series and dark M-rated manga Fist of the North Star?
Oh, I saw that. That is fucking wild.
I am buying that day one.
That looks awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'm like they're making one for like grown-ups, and it could be for,
that's really cool.
Anyone can enjoy smashing to pieces someone's face, and then I assume it's not going to be hyper gory, but I kind of wish it was. You punch them
That
a
would be
million
cool.
times and they explode like in the comics and cartoon.
That would be awesome.
And they're going to be beefy boys, because that comic and manga or that comic and anime is full of beefy boys. It kind of had like there's a word for that genre of anime that's kind of repetitive, because the main character literally cannot lose. He's like the strongest and bestest boy and full of justice and will never lose a fight.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Like a special word for it?
I think so, because there's like One Punch Man is also is like a
Right.
satire of that.
I feel like One Punch Man only works because it's a satire. Otherwise, it would be boring as hell.
Yeah, I feel like that is kind of a how every situation involving Fist of the North Star guy Ken there is going to end.
Yeah, he's gonna like punch a hole the size of a continent.
And they'll already
That's just
be
how
dead.
those animes go.
And then their brains will explode.
Yeah.
Is that not, though, wouldn't you say, sort of like a Batman kind of thing?
That's true. That is true. Or Superman. But what about the time that Bane broke Batman's back?
Yeah, but he got better.
That's true.
Anytime DC has said this is like the death of this character and it's for real the death and they're going to be dead for real, it's not for real.
Is
Just
the
kidding.
death of Superman, though, the best version of that? I think it is.
Maybe.
Because you had those like four heroes that kind of stood up to do the other, to be kind of Superman's fill-in.
Yeah.
Although one of them was Steel, which Shaq made a movie out of, which is pretty bad.
Steel's not a bad character per se.
No,
Just
Steel's
like,
a great character, but it's a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they kind of did the same thing with Batman, though, didn't they? I don't remember.
Where they
Did they?
Well, they broke
but
his
Batman has so many progeny that like
yeah, it was like a lot of the progeny shit and things like that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Superman came back and he had the coolest outfit ever, electric blue.
It was like, wasn't that sort of in preparation for the movie that didn't happen?
The Nicolas Cage movie?
Yeah.
Man.
I've never saw that documentary.
There are
about
costume tests.
I kind of want to see.
There are photos of Nicolas Cage in the Superman costume.
Mm-hmm.
If you care to view them.
There was a bunch of Suikoden 2. No, Suikoden 1 and 2 remakes are coming out.
Oh, that's right.
That's what inspired me to
cool.
want to make a secret pirate knockoff version of this podcast with people who want to play Suikoden.
Do you think they're gonna fix the dice game in Suikoden 1?
I hope not. I mean, how else would you make that much money? That was the best part of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people are real excited for that. And did anyone watch the really cool Street Fighter 6 trailer?
Oh, I did. I think they did a lot of really cool fleshing out of the characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all got a lot fatter, if that's what you mean. Like thick boys. They all got
That
thick.
happens
Yeah.
as you age.
Yeah. They haven't revealed thick Zangief yet, and everyone's very excited.
Oh, do you think he's going to be so thick?
He's going to be so thick and a little bit of like a gray streak in his beard or something. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my guess.
I'm into
I
that.
don't know.
That's what you
wait,
write in
they've
your.
already revealed him because he's got those like skin tight pants. He's got those tights.
What? No, I gotta Google it.
Yeah, look it up. He's got these really nice, very well fitting tights. Everyone looks super hot and thick in that game. It's great.
Oh, there is a Zangief.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Have they released it?
I thought they showed him in. Maybe that was character art or something. I know.
I think it. All I can find is stuff that's not gameplay. So
Oh, okay.
maybe they're waiting. I'm sure it's going to be a good one. I feel like that, and are they going to have Blanca back in?
Yeah, and
Like Zangief and Blanca are
is built like
are the
Julio
fan
now.
faves. Really?
Yeah, he's like super wide and very hunky.
Julio is a mountain. Love
Yeah.
Julio.
And Blanca can now throw, one of his special moves is to throw like a stuffed animal version of himself that electrocutes anyone who touches it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it looks real cute. Tekken 8. There's Tekken 8.
Did they announce Tekken 8?
They did.
It's weird. I didn't hear anything about that. Was
And
that part
a
of the
sequel to
Nintendo?
Mario plus Rabbids.
Oh, I saw that too. I went to a like one of those like bowling / movie theaters / arcades a couple weekends ago. And I played a VR version of like a Rabbids game where you had to shoot them. Like you put the VR glasses on and then you shoot the Rabbids.
I've never played VR.
I did a couple VR games and it's pretty awesome actually.
Is it?
The
I've been
headsets
kind
were
of worried.
the headsets were very heavy. Like they kind of hurt my head, but the gameplay was super fun.
What's Vanessa worried about?
I'm worried it will make me dizzy and I'll fall down and everyone will laugh at
You
me.
can play seated.
Yeah, I played seated games.
Oh, I see.
Did you see that there's a new version of Theatrhythm with 380 songs? That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And also, there's DLC, but all the DLC is stuff like Nier Automata and Octopath Traveler.
How are they making DLC for Nier Automata?
Well, they're gonna. It's DLC for Theatrhythm, Final Bar.
Oh, so it's like licensed DLC for another game.
What? Well, I mean, yeah, it's all Square franchises.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Square owns Nier, and yeah. Oh, and Crisis. Let's see. Oh yeah, Crisis Core is coming out for Switch. I don't know. It's just a great week for nerdy video game fans, I think.
Oh, that Crisis Core trailer was really good. Matt sent that in the chat the other day. That looked great.
Yeah, I think we will have to play that on the show or put it up for a
It's
vote.
kind of weird that we have. It's weird that we've been doing this podcast for almost 7 years, and we have not played Crisis Core or Dirge of Cerberus.
Well, neither of them are available right now. Like, you can't play them, so that makes sense.
I mean, but we're a
know.
classic RPG podcast.
Yeah, but you'd have to pirate it or buy an
That's
old
true.
version. Not everyone wants to do that.
Yeah, and we don't like to play games that aren't accessible for our listeners because they like to play along.
They do like to play along.
I
so
like it when they play along.
This has been my favorite week so far of HGN. Just so much stuff, like more than we could even fit in a whole HGN episode. I'm very excited.
Seems like a lot of people are saying that the sort of immediate future of gaming is going to be more cozy gaming, like more farm sims, more what you would traditionally call a casual game, but just like more cozy games to make you feel good about our terrible world. And I think that's great.
I think a lot of that is the, like, not to break the show mythos, but our demographic of gamers who are approaching middle age or are middle aged, that's really what hits that sweet spot. And that's really interesting because, like, the pendulum always swings both ways, right? So I feel like right now there's
the pendulum's
a big
for sure.
There's a
It's
big
pansexual,
influx. Yeah,
Johnny.
there's a big
Pansexual.
influx of these casual games right now, but I feel like it's gonna go the other way soon. And I maybe this is me hoping, but I hope there's a big single player resurgence because, like, that's how I like to play games.
Well, there's a lot of. I think that it's a great time to be into classic RPGs because I think a lot of they're great games for middle-aged people because you can play them on your Switch. They aren't super intense graphically. You could pause them.
You
Those
don't have
olds.
to have good reflexes.
Yeah, those gross old people.
Oh,
It's
there
good
is
for
one
those-
part of this
those
chunker
people.
where you do have to have good reflexes right at the end. It's like you have a second to do that slash of this chunker. of
Yeah,
our
I
game.
guess, but it's really just a second to push the button that pauses the whole game.
That's
and then
true.
you can take your time
No,
with the slash.
actually,
Although some enemies don't pause.
yeah,
Oh,
those
really?
those enemies
Yeah.
don't pause. The ones,
Oh, I didn't notice that.
the last one in the game there.
I saw them wiggling around, but I didn't think that meant that I
Yeah,
only
you
had
can
a
run
certain
out of
amount of
time
time to slash
real
them.
easy. It took me 3 tries to get through that one.
All right, are we ready for level up?
Yeah, I think so. We just have
Let's
too much
do it.
Too much news.
I'm gonna go first.
Overwatch is
Oh.
dead next month, which means that the disc version I have,
Overwatch 1.
yeah, the disc version I have for PS4 is a coaster now. I guess is that
I have the
Yeah.
same thing. I also have an Overwatch 1 PS4 disc.
coaster?
Yeah, coaster now. Yeah.
That's a game I paid $40 for,
Same here, man.
or $50. Yeah.
And played for a month and then never
Yeah,
put it in
honestly,
my PS4 again.
I feel like I'm too old for those games. They just are not for me.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway.
I mean, because they're for teens. You're in your 20s.
Yeah, when we're 20 so, Jim, how did you level them up?
Well, this week has been a very casual week for Mr. Jim. Have not been traveling, been staying at home, and I've been really just kind of chilling out to YouTube. So I do want to plug a YouTube channel that I really like. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I think it's pronounced Gingy, Gingy, but it's a YouTube channel that has pretty long video essays, like lore video essays about popular gaming franchises. There's a really long series about BioShock. A really, really, really great one about Blasphemous, if you guys are interested in Blasphemous. But they're mostly RPGs. There's Mass Effect. There's a ton of them. And he did a really good job explaining Dark Souls. And if you need something to kind of turn on in the background, or if you want to kind of chill out and hear somebody explain kind of an esoteric game series, check out that YouTube channel. That's Gingy. I first discovered him when I was looking for lore about Elden Ring. He was kind of one of the first people to have an Elden Ring video up, but his Elden Ring videos they're so well edited, and there's tons of great game footage. I think if you're interested in that kind of thing, or if you like to fall asleep to lore videos like I do, there's a lot of good content there, so check that out. Vanessa, how did you level up?
Well, it was a pretty casual week for me as well. So I actually have been instructed to co-share with our absent friend Matt my level up. And that is that both of us started watching the 3rd season of the Harley Quinn cartoon.
Ooh.
And it remains good. It's the same quality that it was before. It's fun and funny, and I don't know what Matt actually wants to say about it other than he liked it. So that's that.
What's the age range or like, what's the target demo for that cartoon?
Grown up.
Okay, so it like blood, gore, sex.
Yeah, blood, gore, sex. Quite a lot, actually. There was some stimulated, well, I say stimulated, but stimulated.
Ooh.
There was some stimulated simulation. Some lady-on-lady action of the type that you don't often even see in films because people are squeamish.
Is it like in Black Swan?
It's like in Black Swan. I only saw that movie once, and I don't really remember.
Oh, okay.
But, yep, I bet it is.
She made a Mila her Kunis.
Although, like, how do you watch any Aronofsky movie more than once?
Yeah, I didn't ever feel like I needed to see that again once I watched that. I was like, all right.
I'm going to see The Whale with, like, one of my favorites, Brendan Fraser, but I'm probably only going to see it once.
I haven't decided if I'm going to be able to watch that or not.
I'm going to watch it
fat gay friends
alone.
are like, oh, it's showing how fat gays are pathetic and monsters and no thanks.
It's not.
Well, that's like, hey, I know nothing about it, but like Guy Branum is just on a rant about
I don't know.
Real mad about that.
I don't know either, John. Maybe it's that way, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it's based on the play.
And I hope
so
it's not like that.
You can like check out things about the play if you are concerned.
Oh, right. It is a stage script. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give this one a skip.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I like Brendan Fraser a lot. I think he's a great actor. I think we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Either on the show or off the show. I can't remember anymore.
This
you know what? Like
shitty movie.
I like Brendan Fraser so much. I was this close to recommending a Brendan Fraser sideshow to put on the Patreon a couple weeks ago. I was like, he's got a filmography. I'm this close. Anyways, Vanessa, proceed.
I'm really struggling to think of anything else that I did. I finished Westworld season 4. Did I say that already on this show? It did not live up to the promise that it had developed, I think. I said that it started slow before and then picked up a little bit, and then it wasn't satisfying to me. I think if you watched through season 3 and you're like, I don't know about season 4, I don't know if I'm still into it, just give it a skip, probably. Season 3 is a satisfying place for the story to end, and this didn't really add anything to the universe to me. And along that theme, I have also started the 5th season of Handmaid's Tale, because that's still going. It just kind of, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic that all these shows took a break, but a lot of these sort of dystopia sci-fi shows feel a little outdated now to me. And it's probably just that I personally have moved past that. But still good acting, like really, really great actresses on that show. So I can't fault them for that. And I'll finish it up and see what happens. But some of it just seems like with all these shows, you start repeating themes a little bit too much for me. It gets a little exhausting.
Yeah.
So there's only so many places you can go with these stories.
Shows should just end, I think.
Yeah.
3 or 4 seasons max.
Well, I wish we had more flexibility, and I think we are starting to with streaming, but to have a show that is, a 10-episode season, and then that's it. Like a self-contained little story.
And if you feel like you have another thing to tell, there's different media. Like multimedia stories are also okay.
That's true.
Put it in a comic. Make a web series. Who knows?
Make a podcast.
Make a podcast, yeah. Although I wouldn't recommend that. That sucks.
It sucks, and it just consumes your life. And then you're a podcast
That's
person.
all you do.
That's all you do. And then, like, people are like, oh, what's your hobby? And then you're like, a podcast.
It is nice to have an easy answer for what do you do in
true.
your free time. As someone who's gone through multiple corporate orientations in the last year, it's a nice answer to have in your back pocket.
Tell us a fun fact about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but people believe you when you say it. People don't believe me when I say it.
They don't believe you?
They don't believe me because I look like a normal. I look like a normal
you're a
lady
normie.
and not like a gamer girl.
Wow, so people don't look at you and say, of course you do when you tell them you have a podcast like they do to me?
Yeah. Yeah, with me, it's like, oh, one arm is covered in video game tattoos. You don't say you have a podcast.
I've told you guys, I'm sure, about going to buy an X-Men comic at, like, Barnes & Noble or something. It was a compendium, and the checkout guy goes, you don't look like an X-Men fan. I'm like, what does that mean? It's an X-Men fan. First of all, it's a super mainstream property. Like, there are movies and stuff. I guess he was just trying to strike up a conversation.
He was trying to shepherd you over to the romance section is what he was
Yeah. He's like, did you mean to pick up a romance manga?
Are you looking for Danielle Steele?
Lady. Ma'am.
Do you want a Michelle Obama autobiography?
There was another time when I was at a comic book store and the guy behind the counter was talking to everyone who came in and didn't say anything to me. And then he said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were just here with this guy. I was like, not someone who I knew, by the way.
Aww.
Just some random other customer. There's a lady in the shop.
Ugh. Are we ready to talk about Ōkami?
Oh, yeah, we are.
Oh, Kami? Well, maybe Johnny. Maybe Johnny should level up first.
Maybe Johnny should.
Oh, John hasn't leveled up yet? Oh, I'm sorry, John. Level up, buddy.
I thought about I was really tired after a really long shift this morning. I was like, I should trade in my Switch and get an OLED Switch. But I haven't done that yet because I did not have time to do that. And
John, we talked about this before the podcast. You cannot level up on a consideration of something you almost did.
I thought about playing Alicia Dragoon, but I didn't have time. I was like, I just want to try that. I'm 60 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So I think I'm getting towards the end of that game. That game's, I think, one of my favorite RPGs. It's so good. It's really good. It's very sweet. Very good writing. Very good voice acting. Really fun. Very addictive gameplay. Thumbs up. I definitely think we should play that on the show sometime. But probably start with Xenoblade Chronicles 1, because there is like a continuing story.
Isn't there like a really big kind of pseudo-religious lore associated with those games?
Probably. I mean, it is the
like
Xenogears
I tried
guy.
to watch a lore video on the Xenoblade games, and it was even worse than Xenogears.
It's the same guy, so I assume so. But otherwise, it's just stuff.
Oh
I
my
want
gosh,
to do
who's
play.
crashing the recording?
What?
Oh.
Someone's crashing the recording right now.
Oh my god.
Who is it?
Who
Who
is
is
it? Who is it?
No one
Uh-oh,
can
there's a
hear you.
recording crasher. Who is it?
No one can hear me?
Well,
Are you recording?
Unless you're recording.
I am recording.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, it's
We
Matt.
have a Van Zant in the house.
I decided to join for the second half of the episode.
Well, we're not even through the level up, so
But I have to edit. And it's 10 p.m.
And that's the end
Only
of my level
40 minutes
up.
in. Yeah, Matt can level up now. Matt, I said that you asked me to convey your thoughts on Harley Quinn, and then I realized I don't actually know what you think of it.
You did. I did tell you what I thought of it. I said it was
You told-
fucking fantastic, and I told you to just repeat your own praise.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, well, you did it. It was only 9 episodes, and it ended very quickly, and I was shocked when it was over.
I'm not finished yet.
I had a weirdly, I had a hang up on starting it for some reason. Like, I just kept putting it off. But you know what? When I started it, it hooked me right away. It's the best season of Harley Quinn. It feels like a successor series to the Batman the Animated Series still, which is a weird thing. But, hits me in the nostalgia. It's a great show. All of the actors and actresses are fucking fantastic. And it's the gayest episode. It's the gayest season of television I've ever seen. It's so gay.
It's pretty gay.
It's super
I was
gay.
expecting a certain level of gay, and then it just got gayer and gayer.
Jim Rash as the Riddler and whoever plays Clock King, they only have 5 minutes on screen together the whole season. But you know what? Worked out pretty well. I
You
shipped
ship
them.
it, huh?
I ship it. Riddler and Calendar Man. Also, I did want to say...
Riddler and the Clock King, thank you very
Sorry,
much.
excuse
Riddler
me, you're
would
right.
never get with Calendar Man.
Yes, absolutely. Calendar Man. Ugh, long Halloween guy? No, thank you.
Yeah, he's just way too transparent with his motivations.
I don't
He'll
actually
be
think
like,
that's right
riddle
either.
me this, honey. What's the most romantic holiday? And be like,
Jim Rash Academy Award winner, by the way.
Jim Rash, writer and actor on Community. He played the Dean, and I fucking loved him. You know?
He
You know who
won
else
an
loved the
Academy
Dean?
Award for The Descendants,
Johnny
the George Clooney starring vehicle.
Brandon. Are you sure that he won an Academy Award for The Descendants?
He
the
did,
George Clooney
because
starring
his
vehicle,
writing-
and not
his
The
writing
Descendants,
partner
the
was-
Disney Channel.
yeah, the Disney Channel original movie about the
Thank you.
children.
Oh no,
of
it's
Disney
not
Channel
about the
original
villains.
musical.
Not about the villains. It's about the George Clooney in Hawaii.
Okay, well, I don't care
That
about
he
Juge.
won with Nat Faxon, who
Oh, I know that name.
Nat Faxon. He's an actor. You should look him up.
I mean, Jim Rash is fucking... I adore that guy. Right, John?
Yes.
You were talking about Community in the group chat today. You got nothing to add about Jim Rash?
I think that was in not our group chat, the podcast group chat.
Yeah,
The
now that
newly
things work.
Words that he
instated podcast group chat.
The curse that Johnny Brandon decided to fucking impose on us in the middle of the night one night,
thing
and
that
we
I
all woke up
to
and
a
were
couple
like, "Oh
mornings
my
ago."
god!"
We were all asleep, and then we all woke up to like a million notifications.
My
Yeah, John's
fucking
like, "Oh, I
phone
started
that
chat."
day. Holy shit!
Oopsies.
And then somehow one of my friends who's in the Facebook group, but
Because
just
he
out
invited
of like,
everybody in the
invited
Facebook group,
everybody
which
in
is
the
not
Facebook
cool, John. Don't do that.
But
It is cool, and it's fun.
It's not cool.
It told me to do that.
John
It's like,
invited 500 people, and only the 50th most hardcore nerds have stuck around.
Well, so my friend, she doesn't listen to our podcast. She doesn't care about video games. But she accidentally accepted the chat invite, and then she was sending me screenshots, and she's like, "Who is this? Why are they messaging me? What do they want? Who are these people?"
oops.
It was pretty great.
I wonder if my mom will end up in there accidentally.
I wonder if my mom will.
I mean, not accidentally.
All right, here's my legit level up. I went to a baseball game. It was fun,
Baseball.
and that's why I'm late to show up to the episode, and also why I didn't play the game. But I'll.
You went to a
played the
game for
game.
one evening. That's why you didn't play it.
Vanessa wanted me
the new
bet.
project I have at work also ate up a lot of my time.
Sorry. Someone wanted to bet me $25 that you aren't going to finish the game, and I said only if it's a 3-to-1 odds that you won't finish the game, because then I'll take the bet.
And then I added on. I bet he didn't even finish the first chunker.
I mean, that would be
so you have to tell us
that's
now.
a fair guess. I don't blame you, but I did finish the first chunker.
I knew it.
Even though I did not play this chunker yet, I will probably play it tomorrow while I edit this fucking episode. So
You should. This game is great.
I was
Yeah,
starting to
this
get
game-
into it before the end of the last episode, the last chunker, but I felt like I had and you know what? Vanessa and I are having a similar experience. This game, you guys are breezing through this, and it is not. I am not breezing through it.
Yeah, I
You
don't
will.
know.
Reverse Zelda.
You will. It takes
Just
a
give
minute
me
for the
a
game to
sword.
let you, but you
And
will.
let me pick up a hook shot. Stop making me do Vine.
Wait for
stuff.
the fast travel to open up.
Oh, I don't care about fast travel. Fast travel ruins games.
No.
It's like a Zelda-style fast travel. It's fine.
Yeah. It's a limited fast travel.
All right. Well, anyway, the Rays won, and I took my son. And the Rays Stadium is cashless now. They only
Oh, I
accept
love that.
credit cards and phone pays. It is nice, except along with that, I feel like everything quintupled in price. It's crazy how it's.
Do they
It's
accept
crazy.
Roblox coins?
I wish they did, because Connor's got a ton. He could have paid for his $15 milkshake himself. And he didn't
my God,
finish.
those
They didn't even drink a
stadium
quarter of.
milkshakes. Wow.
The place
and
was
the
called
ice cream is like
Beans and
$12.
Balmer was the name of the fucking milkshake place. It was the trendiest, shittiest milkshake place I've ever seen. Connor hated his milkshake.
Also, Vanessa,
Yeah.
how's that ice cream?
Oh, that should have been my level up. I was
Yeah.
waiting even to tell you on air. I don't want to interrupt Matt's story, though, so put a pin in that. Let's listen
All
to
right, put a
Matt,
pin
and
in
then
that.
I'll tell you how the ice cream is.
That was it. So, Vanessa, how did you re-level up?
My coworker told me. So I'm training someone at work, and he's like, "Oh, what have you been playing on your Switch?" I was like, "Oh, well, I haven't not on my Switch, but I've been playing Ōkami." He's like, "Oh yeah, I think I played a little bit of that old. That's the old game, right?" I'm like, "I guess."
Oh.
And he's like,
I mean,
Yeah,
we do
there
have
it
a
is.
retro RPG podcast.
And then he was like, "Oh, I played a little bit of that, but I was just too young to understand."
Aww.
Man, I
Oh my
feel
God,
like-
guys, you have no idea how much of the commenting on women's boobs thing comes into play later in the game. You have no idea.
You know, and Issun already is a
just
real
wanna say
shithead
that-
in this one.
I just want to
Oh,
say
it
that
gets
any
to be
bets
real
that were
bad.
made are null and void after this recording, because Jim is going to spend this whole episode telling me things that are going to make me not want to play this game.
He's trying to win that bet.
He is trying to win that bet.
I'm stacking the deck.
No way. Illegal.
Vanessa, tell me about the ice cream.
Yes.
Re-level up, Vanessa.
I leveled up by receiving not one, not two, not 3 or 4, but 5 pints of ice cream in the mail.
Vanessa, that's too many pints of ice cream.
It's a lot of ice cream.
It is a lot of ice
I mean,
cream.
if you were sharing with somebody, I would understand. But you have your own freezer in the Square Roots house that has a DNA coded lock that I'm pretty
That's
sure you
right.
have to kiss to open, which is weird. And
Well, it gets me in the mood for the ice cream. I also learned recently that the best thing to eat ice cream with is a golden spoon. So I have one of those on a chain around
Yeah.
my neck that I take with me
Wow.
everywhere.
yes, yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
like what rich people do coke with and heroin.
I wouldn't know about that. I'm an innocent little lamb.
You know what I know about is the fact that Jim's wearing a shirt that says Stephen King rules, and that's a
We
lie.
already talked about this.
That's a lie. Stephen King does not rule.
And it's a very plain shirt. It's just the lettering.
It
just-
just says Stephen King rules.
Stephen King is the Marvel universe of horror fiction, and it makes me crazy. Both ways, you know? Because I should like it more, but I just don't.
So, I got hooked up with this fancy ice cream, and I
From where?
tried. Should I say? Is
You
it
can say it.
allowed?
He said
It's
where
from
he
a
works.
company called Salt and Straw, a West Coast handcrafted ice cream company based
It's
out of Portland, Oregon.
It's a company that Jim works for that serves the bougiest sounding ice cream you've ever heard in your entire life.
It is, yeah.
It's very, like, I'm sure it tastes great, but I cringe every time I read about it.
Well,
Does it taste great? I want to hear what
John's
Vanessa says.
yeah, I'll tell you how it tastes.
Great.
I got 5 flavors. I haven't tried all of them yet.
Name
'cause
them.
It just came this week. I don't know if I can remember all of them, but
Pear
the two,
and blue cheese.
Yes, that is the one I
Fennel.
tried tonight. I
London
tried
Pear
pear
and blue cheese, fennel and maple. There's
Cigarette butts
a,
and liberal farts.
there's
No.
one with cinnamon or like salty swirl, cinnamon swirl. I don't remember.
So I got the two most sort of extreme flavors I got were pear and blue cheese and maple and fennel.
Yeah, you got a
And
sea
then-
salt and caramel one for sure.
Yeah, I got sea
remember
salt
seeing
and
that.
caramel.
Caramel swirl.
I bet that's
That
And I
actually sounds
also-
good.
Sea salt and
I- It is
caramel is
good.
the best goddamn combination on the planet.
Yeah, and you know I love my sea salt ice cream from those Kingdom Hearts games. I'm going to
I
feel like a real
apologize.
Sora.
That I keep interrupting you. I'm dying to hear about pear.
It's
and
all right.
blue
You're very
cheese.
excited about it. I also got like a cold brew coffee one.
Oh,
And I
that one's good.
Yuck.
a
Coffee ice cream.
vegan
Grossest
one
thing I
with-
can imagine.
I got a vegan one with boysenberry in it, I think, or maybe marionberry.
Ooh,
Just-
that
what is-
Marionberry ice cream is so good.
What's a
Yeah.
vegan ice cream?
No,
Non-dairy.
Yep,
I understand that
non-dairy.
it's non-dairy, so what is it? Because it's not iced cream.
soy milk.
I don't
I don't
actually
know.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the
milk?
label.
Pear and
Almond
blue
milk, maybe?
cheese.
Oat milk is probably cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah, so first I tried the maple and the fennel. I tried it, and also Vanessa's mom tried it, and we had 2 very different experiences. I liked it a lot. It was mostly maple and then just like a little bit of fennel after flavor. But my mother had an experience where the fennel flavor tasted a little bit like soap to her, which I don't know if that's like related to a cilantro kind of taste bud thing.
Yeah,
'cause I know
maybe she
some
has
people
a
have that.
cilantro gene.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think that she does, but I should ask. But we both really liked the pear and blue cheese, which is
That is such a good flavor combination.
it's
like,
really good.
Oh man.
It's mostly peary. It has like a little bit of floralness to it, I would say, but it tastes kind of like a really hyper concentrated pear flavor. And then
I love
like you
pear.
get
It's
and
like pear and like a really kind of very pungent blue cheese that just hits
Yeah.
the back of
Oh
your
wait,
palate.
hang
Like-
on.
Exactly.
Do you
Yeah.
spray the blue cheese onto
No,
the ice cream
no,
first?
The
or
like
do
the
you
blue
do that
cheese is
after you
in it.
spray it on your nuts?
no, these are. I didn't get any of the spray ones.
Hey, how are
But,
you gonna? I thought that the whole deal was Vanessa's sex toy corner with pear and blue cheese spray. I thought we were gonna learn about this.
I'm really passionate about cheese. I'm not that passionate about cheese.
That blue cheese though just kind of hit the right note.
It's
right?
really
like,
it's really nice. I wanted to eat it after I'd had some beef for some reason. I was like,
yeah, I can see that for sure.
I'm approaching these
like
ice
you have
creams
a steak
like wine.
and have a nice
Yeah.
pear and blue cheese ice cream after.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I didn't have steak. I had some like beef udon from Japanese takeout, and it went really well with that.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So I recommend it so far. You can tell that it's like quality. The cream is very creamy. It tastes real and not chemically, if that makes sense.
As someone who has worked in the kitchens where they make the ice cream, all the ingredients are very involved. It takes a long time to do that shit.
Yeah. And that is reflected in the price, so I wouldn't say that this is going to be my new everyday ice cream, but of course I don't need to buy any ice cream for like 3 months because now I have 5 pints of it.
Are you guys ready to talk about Ōkami?
I can't fucking wait to talk about Ōkami.
Let's talk about Ōkami.
You guys
Matt,
don't even
you have
know.
no idea what's going on in this
I
episode.
do. I was kidding. I'm totally caught up. You guys have got to learn how to tell the difference between sarcasm and real chasm.
Okay.
Chasm.
So
Okay.
who was the boss of this chunker?
Real Chasm is the name of my autobiography.
What's the name of the boss?
What did the boss look like? What animal was the boss?
Hang on. I got this for sure.
No, right now.
Oh, that's right. It was the fucking Spider Queen. Why aren't the notes updated? How long can I vamp? You fucking assholes didn't write notes? Do you not write notes when I'm not around?
We didn't actually. We're like, we all played this. We don't need notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man, that's so good.
I tried. All right. I tried to play along.
That's great.
Hey, Matt, what about your trivia night? I wanted to hear about that for your level up. That was a real
I went to
Slumdog
trivia
Millionaire
night.
moment you had.
It was my second trivia night. All right, quick side level up. I went to trivia night. They do give you an extra point per beer that you drink, and I did get 15 extra points. So
15?
What? How? You must have been going to the bathroom every 5
15
minutes.
extra points.
I wasn't alone. I
I
didn't go
drank
by
2
myself.
raspberry ciders the other day, and it killed me. Like, I was
Yeah.
out for the whole next day.
Anyway, I went to trivia night. The reason that Jim and Vanessa want to hear about it is because I nailed the first and second question because Jim wouldn't shut up about seeing Barbarian, and because Vanessa won't shut up about Lizzo's new show. So
I had never heard Vanessa mention Lizzo's new show. Actually.
all the time she mentions it. Sorry that you don't pay attention to Vanessa.
Yeah, sorry you don't pay attention.
Have you mentioned it?
I've never watched it, but I'm aware of it.
You've mentioned it.
Have you mentioned it though?
I don't know.
I've definitely mentioned Barbarian because that movie kicks ass.
I
so.
understand that I don't have a great memory, but I don't appreciate having every word I say questioned. Maybe like relax.
I am a Lizzo
You
fan. I
probably
can't deny
fucking
that.
brought it up, though,
I
right?
don't remember that. I'm just saying I don't remember
You're
that.
not party to every fucking word we exchange to each other, FYI.
I mean, he kind of
is,
is
though.
in the group chat.
He's not.
Yeah.
He does not pay attention to the group chat. He does not show up for half the recordings, unlike me. I'm kidding. That was
Fuck
the joke.
off.
I kid. All right, anyway. Yeah, all right, well, God forbid. I tried to give Vanessa some credit for something.
I appreciate it. Saw Lizzo in concert once. It was great. Recommend it.
I remember hearing about that show from you. But you know what? Maybe I heard about it from John.
I don't think so.
Maybe I heard about it from Jim.
Maybe.
Maybe I heard about it from Square Superfan Samuel Mitchell. You don't know. Are we going to talk about Ōkami or what's the fucking deal?
Yeah.
I hope
so.
we-
The
I hope
first
we do.
thing that happens after you
Tell
defeat the
me.
Spider Queen
What?
is, the Spider Queen.
Yeah, I
Remember
definitely
last
fought
time?
her. Yep.
Wow, Jim.
Yeah, Jim is drinking straight out of a bottle of Jack Daniels, and it is not the regular size. That is a liter. That is a
he's
straight
thirsty.
liter.
If I can level up again, I've gone 30 days without alcohol. 30 days.
That's a lot of
Today's
days.
my
Making
30
mixers
day.
in his mouth.
So I'm finally drinking alcohol tonight.
I'm proud of you. I
That's
also
great, though.
went 30 days drinking alcohol. That's what
No,
we're
30
talking
days
about,
not
right?
30 days,
30
not
days
drinking
drinking
alcohol.
alcohol.
I went
Congrats
30
to both
days
of us.
clean.
30 days clean of not drinking alcohol.
Today's my 30 day, and I'm getting drunk.
Yeah, I can tell. Mostly because you
So-
think Stephen King rules.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yeah,
I bought
he's-
this shirt sober.
I
Don't
bought-
have your nipples like that.
Oh, man.
It's disturbing.
Guys,
They're always hard. I have always hard nipples.
Okay,
A-H.
all right.
I wanted to level up about my book, and then I forgot. Look at my book.
Matt, that's out of focus.
I
That's
need
not
the
my fault.
listeners to know that the Stephen King on Jim's shirt is arched like a rainbow, and his nipples are right at the S or the G, and he is rubbing them in concentric circles.
Oh, this is
They're always
upsetting.
like that.
I need you guys to know
That's
that I
why
bought
this shirt works so
a
well.
book about
This
Florida,
episode's
and
a
that it's got multiple
disaster.
pages about nudist colonies, including a full page of dongs, which
Full page of dongs.
yeah, and I just
Show
ran across
it,
that
show it.
flipping through the book.
Show
Let me
it,
see them
show
dogs.
it.
A great
Matthew's wearing a Minecraft shirt for listeners.
He
at
is
home.
wearing a Minecraft shirt.
Well, that's one of my undershirts.
What kind, Johnny? Zip down your little hoodie there and show us what shirt you're wearing. We're all going to talk about shirts that we're wearing. Johnny has a monkey ball shirt. Oh no, it's a. Who's that guy? That's the Katamari Damacy guy, and that monkey from like Monkey Run or whatever it's called.
Monkey ball. You were right the first time.
Yeah, and they're together as friends. All right, Johnny, describe my shirt.
It has there. Oh, it's a variety of cactuses. Or cacti
Yep.
on a gray tank top. I'm sure tank tops for women have a fancy name like camisole or something.
They do. This, however, is a T-shirt.
Oh, it's a T-shirt. Oh, I thought I saw your shoulders.
No, I would never.
Oh,
Ew, gross.
I would never show my shoulder. I'm not a lady of the
in
night.
what?
Every shirt in Florida shows your shoulders. Just out of curiosity, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
So, the first thing that happens is that the dog has this, the dog was just sleeping the whole time and is napping safely in the blossom of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, good doggo.
Yeah, doggo wakes up, doggo's just fine, and then you go outside and the doggo's reunited with the boy, and the boy learns a valuable lesson about hard work. You see, there's
What
a
lesson
bridge
does he learn?
to Hannah Pass, or Hannah Valley, Hannah Pass, that has...
Hannah Valley.
Yeah, Taka Pass, Hannah Valley, I think. Is that
Talk
right?
about Hannah Valley, yeah.
That the boy was supposed to repair for some reason. I don't know why he's in charge of infrastructure, but he's just wanting to play with his dog because he's 6, and the dog taught
Is
him
he
an
just
important
wanting to
lesson.
play with his dog, or is he just wanting to play with this page full of dongs?
Good
That's
lord.
I see a belly
Oh.
button. I see balls. I see a description of a dog.
Yeah, they are clothed for the most part. I was
Yeah.
watching my favorite
dog.
little web series, which I'm not going to mention here because I haven't
Here's some naked
vetted.
men reading a Bible.
Oh, cool. I haven't vetted the people
That's
on it
Florida.
well enough to
Yeah, it is.
endorse them. But it was like 10 in the morning. I was having my coffee. I was working, had this on in the background. And then one of them was just like swinging pipe all over the place. I was not expecting it and was a very
Wow.
surprised dong. So similar experience to Matt.
So, the boy learns a lesson from the dog. The dog doesn't want to go back to the boy because the dog feels like the boy is keeping the dog is keeping the boy lazy and not repairing critical infrastructure.
The
And then
dog
boy's like,
feels that way?
yeah. Matthew, this episode is all about dogs' thoughts and feelings.
It is. So many dogs.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
We didn't get any dog's thoughts and feelings in the first chunker.
I know.
There
Oh,
was
this is
a
all
dog.
dogs. All dogs. All dogs.
And they go wherever they want, not just heaven. They go to
What?
hang out with
They
little
mostly stay where
go
they
wherever
are.
they want, not just heaven. Do you mean hell? They go to
They
hell?
don't go anywhere. They stay where they are for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you feed them. And anyway, so the dog teaches the boy a valuable lesson. I think Isun is translating because Isun can kind of understand animals' thoughts.
But the dog can't?
No, Amaterasu cannot for some reason, but Isun can. I guess it's because Amaterasu does not talk, but Isun does. And yeah, the dog just wanted the boy to like work hard and thought he was a distraction. And then the boy learns his lesson, is like, "Hey, dog, let's go fix that bridge together." And the dog starts wagging his cute little doggy tail, and they go off to go fix the bridge. Now supposedly the bridge will be fixed, but when you go see him, he hasn't really started on the bridge. I guess the boy just got there, in his defense.
Well, he's a baby,
he's
and
like
all he
6.
has is a fishing pole. So he
It's
has
true.
hooked the opposite side of the bridge with his fishing pole, and he's like, "Check it out!
That's not
Fix
good.
it!"
That's not good.
And I thought you were just going to like fill in the bridge or something with although I think if you try doing that, the game is like, "Hey, you can't do that. It's too broken," or something.
Hey, you can't. This little boy needs to learn his lesson, I guess.
Yeah. But
This child needs to learn his lesson about how he needs to work.
just then, there's a
According to
sound,
John.
a sort of screaming sound. The sound of the game's real hero, Susano, who is now on the log.
Yay. Mm-hmm.
He is on a log. Yeah, the log is headed downstream. And since the boy did stretch that fishing line across
Oh my
the
god, I
river,
hated this.
it did mean that suddenly you're all caught up with Susano on that log, and that log is out of control. Fortunately, the log does have like some convenient little hooks on it, and you did just get that vine ability. So why don't you try
6 hooks.
a bullshit
Like-
minigame?
Sounds like a fucking nightmare, because when I had to deal with the hooks when I fought the spider boss, I wanted to break
That
my
was easy
controller
and
in
fun.
half. I
this
had
is
a
more-
moment where I thought about throwing my controller through the television.
Vanessa,
I don't want to step on John, but like the
step on me, Dad.
Step on him!
yeah. This was so frustrating. Like I did this, I'm not even kidding, 12 times probably.
I did it
Like-
the first time.
Because you have to pause, you have to hit the R1 button. It gives you like a 2-second window. Like you have to do it so fast. You have to do it,
But that's the same problem that I had
perfectly.
with- that's the same
it's one
problem.
of those things you have to do perfectly.
That's the same problem I had with the fucking dance in the first chunker, where like I was like, oh, I gotta hit the button now, I guess, and then it would just be like, you fucking failed. Didn't hit R1 fast enough.
Yeah,
Bad.
I struggled with this at first, but then I realized I was doing 2 things wrong. One, I didn't realize that you have to draw the line from the flower to the log. It doesn't work at the opposite way, which didn't make any sense to me, but I guess that's magic. And 2,
You
the
grow
game will
flower
actually...
out of the log.
What?
You grow the flower bit out, the vine out of the flower. Doesn't grow out of the log.
Sure. And then the other thing is that you... it will show you when you have, like, put the brush down in the right place for this. So it will, like, do a little green swirl when you connect with the flower, and then you just drag it over until you see the green swirl on the log.
That's true. That was true at the spider boss as well, and it still did not work for me half the time.
It's tough. Some of our listeners have said that it's a lot easier on the Switch because then you can use the touch screen and draw
Yeah.
with your little finger.
That's true. The Switch version is very good. So,
I only use my Switch to play Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'm the specialist, most important person in Dreamlight Valley, and best friends with Mickey Mouse, so it's cool.
wow. So Vanessa, did you have trouble with the log jam?
Not gym trouble. I was thinking I was doing it really badly, and I had to do it like just 3 times, I think. So,
Well, as a pro
medium
gamer,
trouble.
It's good that Jim is the everyman in this scenario. I can't, speak for my pro gamer. Amazing. Okay, I don't know why I'm so good at this game. I feel like weird. It's weird to be good at a game.
It's great that you are.
It is your Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Skill of Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Skill sounds so cool.
Ocarina of Time skills carrying over to
Matthew, how do you
game.
feel about Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm fucking super excited about it. Like, what? Yes, please give it to me now. Right now.
Play that with Connor. It'll be cool.
I've said it. New or old, I think Breath of the Wild's the best game I've ever played. So, I'm very excited for the sequel. Very excited.
All right, so you finished
And I
the
hope
log.
that there's not a lot of tears, Mm-hmm. Why is it tears for the kingdom? Because Zelda's going to get kidnapped again and cry a bunch? Probably.
I hope Link gets kidnapped this time and you play as Zelda the whole game.
Like, fucking give it to me, please. But they don't want to do it. It's Nintendo. They won't let him talk.
I saw some funny
They won't
art
let him be,
about
girl.
Zelda's dad, and he was like caught in a nest of tentacles. Anyway.
That
Squadala.
does sound pretty funny. I bet you had a good giggle to that.
Zelda's hot dad. Moving on.
He looks like Santa Claus.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes an older man. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway.
Johnny's telling on himself.
Yeah,
about
I
himself.
guess that I like older guys too. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
He likes them old. He likes
Us
them young. He
20-somethings
likes them
love.
small. He likes them hung.
What?
What?
So, you can slow down the log by attaching it to these convenient blooms that are along, those weird vine flowers that are along the side.
They're not convenient.
Of the water,
They're
unless
not
you're Jim,
convenient.
in which case it is very difficult, or Vanessa, in which case it's a medium.
John, how many tries did this take you?
One.
Took me like 5. 5 tries.
Jim, that was it whiskey that you're drinking? Yeah, I think it's hitting pretty hard.
It's doing its job quick. Let me tell you.
Wow.
It's bourbon.
It's bourbon. Okay. So, that it results in the log being stopped by a bunch of vines and then flipping over, and everyone lands safely right where they started because it does a little reverse boing thing, like a catapult.
Yeah.
And,
You're headed for the waterfall. And it's like,
Yep.
no, it's pretty great.
Yep. And Susano is like, wow, I feel like the voices in my head are telling me. And then he wanders off muttering to himself. Something's up with Susano is what I'm saying.
Something is up with Susano.
And there was a really neat moment, Susano moment coming up that I was I don't know, I like this Susano arc. This is pretty fun. The true hero of the game. Like how Yuna is the true hero of Final Fantasy X.
That's true, because Titus doesn't even exist.
Exactly. She has to go on American Idol to find Titus. Or a Titus replacement.
I see what you are talking about. I was confused at first, and then I remembered the existence of Final Fantasy X-2.
And there is a Titus replacement, remember?
Oh, yeah.
He plays
that
the
guy.
What's his
organ at
name?
the end. He does have a name, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my
Does
head.
he play the organ or does he play an organ?
No, the organ. Anyway, so now we can cross the river because the big log happened to land exactly across the river, and the kid's like, "All right, job done."
Yep.
And the
Built
dog
a
was
bridge.
like, "Good enough." That's what the dog said. And Susano is muttering about voices in his head. So you wander off to this new valley full of so many trees to bloom, so many animals to feed, one house full of very unfriendly old people. I don't know if you met them. They weren't nice.
Yeah, the terrible Mrs. Cutter.
Oh, the cutter. Do you, John, do you really feed the animals?
Yeah, of course.
Why
I
would you
do.
feed the animals?
You get praise from it, and it's super cute.
I don't.
I fed some
God, I
tigers.
love that 7 praise.
It seems like a waste of time.
I fed
I feed
tigers.
every animal I come across.
I fed
too.
tigers. I fed
I fed
deers.
the
I don't
rat
do
at
that.
the end of the
I
final
don't do that.
dungeon
I don't
here.
have enough feed. How do you buy all the feed and
I don't know.
fruit and-
It's
Buy
cheap.
it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you
What
can
else do
sell.
you spend money on in this game?
Yeah, all
No, I
those
don't do
items
that.
that you find, like the glass beads and the bullhorns, you sell to that one chubby dude in the middle of Shinso Field, and he gives you thousands and
although
thousands of yen.
sometimes you can buy a weapon that's like 100,000.
Well, yeah, there is that
Yeah.
train. You can buy that. I haven't got that yet. That's what I'm saving for now. But yeah, I bought
Yeah.
like 20 feed of
Oh,
each kind.
John's grinding.
No, I'm just
John's
saving.
grinding.
It's save. You don't have to grind in this game. You just save.
You kind of have to
I guess I'm
grind.
grinding all the blooming, because blooming the trees is beautiful, and feeding the animals
Yeah.
is cute. So I'm doing every single
Yeah.
animal. I like that there are some rats at
That's
the
a
end of the
lot.
dungeon.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm having fun though. And also, if you break pots,
There are
they
like
often have
deer
feed in them.
and tigers and chickens and
monkeys.
ducks, and there's all kinds of stuff to feed.
Oh, it's great. What a wonderful game. Anyway, so you get to this valley, and Isun's like, well, I guess that there's that village that Susanna was or was it Waka or Susanna was talking about? I can't remember. But there's a village. Let's go check out what's going on in that village. And so you go to that village. It's all dark. Everything's like weirdly... It's not a cursed zone, but Amaterasu does not have her usual magic powers. She's not glowing. She's not red. There's no... You can't do your tricks. And so something's up with the town. But the townspeople are not
Yeah.
stone.
Well, thank God they're
No.
not stoned.
But they're kind of bummed.
Yeah. They're not happy.
They're not stoned, but they've taken some kind of downer.
So you go talk to this lady. She is. We haven't done notes today, as Matthew did mention. So we're just gonna call her Futa. I don't know. She has a
Princess
name.
something.
Yeah, she's a princess. You have to go easy on us. It's been a long week, okay, listeners. I'm not gonna get the names right today, and I'm sorry. But she's there,
I
and
would
you get.
have written notes, but
Well,
can
I
you
was
do?
busy.
I was
went to a
busy, too.
baseball Game, and I came home to this.
We've all been working overtime, haven't
Yeah.
we?
It's been a
I love that
long.
Matt's-
Talking to
and
you, I'm
Matt's-
talking to my cats.
Matt's physically in bed.
Yeah, I don't know if his voice is even being picked up by his microphone right now.
Yeah.
No, I am. I've got my track up.
I feel like is her name Princess? Fuse. Princess Fuse. That's her name.
Oh, yeah, Princess Fuse.
So Princess Fuse does say that she's feeling messed up. She's trying her best to fight it, but she's been possessed by a demon. And then she fights it so hard that like the demon pops out. And you know who can fight a demon, even without magic powers? A wolf.
Yeah.
What? Wait,
And
why?
this is fun because you don't
Wolf
have
got
your usual
claw,
powers.
Wolf got teeth. Wolf got all
Yeah.
kinds of things.
This is the first fight without your powers, and you still bite and claw and chew and kill the demon inside Princess Fuse, and she's like, oh, thank you. That was so great. I'm going to have to find my dogs, you know, because I have like, or no, she doesn't say dogs. That's a spoiler. She says, I got to find the soldiers of the shrine. I can't remember the name of the shrine. Sasu?
I call it the Wind Shrine.
Yeah, they need to reunite because the Gale Temple has been taken over, and she needs to reunite all these Sasu, Vidal Sassoon warriors, and
The Zazu Warriors.
so she's like, "Here, I'm going to give you this thing called I don't know." They act surprised that they're dogs, but she does give you a canine tracker to find the warriors.
Yeah.
Which does seem to kind of give away that they're
It's
going to
a
be
hint.
dogs. So you get
I was very grateful for this cheat code.
the canine trackers. Yeah, so you get this big, like, I don't know, talisman thing that floats around you and starts making noise and having circles come out of it when you get close to a dog. And she's like, at least 5 of them are in the village, but I think 3 more are outside of the village. And you got to find them all. I'm like, no problem. So we go find some dogs.
I liked it. My favorite dog to find. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My favorite dog to find was the dog in the giant bamboo tree. Or plant, whatever you call them, stalk. You cut it in half, and the dog is in there having a nap.
Those dogs. My favorite is that one big dog, and he just wants food, and he's so lazy. He's like, well, they all want food. Like, they will not follow you until you give them food. And then some of them are like, and now you got to fight me? Like, the first one that wants to fight you is the one that's protecting the Princess Fuse. That dog's like... What are you doing with that canine tracker? What do you think you're doing? You have to prove to me.
You're not worthy of that.
Yeah. You have to prove to me. And then you start fighting, and after you beat the dog, the princess is like, bad dog, what are you doing? Don't fight. What are you two fighting? And they're like, both dogs are like looking shyly away, like, no.
No.
Because the dog wanted to, like, come, even after you beat it the first time, the dog's like, well, I wasn't even using my full power on you. Let's go to a real battlefield. You do not go to a real battlefield. Yeah, to find each dog is sort of, you have to use one of the game's mechanics to find each one. Like, one, I think it's, like, buried in a chest or something. One of them's behind a bombable wall. One of them's inside a bamboo thing.
Yeah.
One of them, I forgot there's another one where you have to, like, use your vine ability or something.
It's very easy.
Yeah,
one's in a vine
fun.
that you have to vine around for. One's...
I do like that there's those vine points kind of hidden around the map now. Like in the forest, Jim saw me find one, which was kind of a curse. Because first I spent five minutes getting the 2 easily available spheres up to Sleepy Bear. Because, of course, you got to give the spheres to Sleepy Bear, right?
Yeah, you're obsessed with Sleepy Bear.
Yeah, and then I like found one of these blooms and vined up to the top of the trees in that forest, and there was a beehive at the top of the tree, and I was like, no, oh no, because I knew what this meant. It was a big round beehive, and you cut it down, and then it's like a 10-minute path to push this beehive, which has a little stem out so it doesn't roll properly and like always rolls to the side and rolls backwards really fast. It took me like 15 minutes to get that stupid thing up to Sleepy Bear, but Sleepy Bear loved it. He woke up, he started dancing on top of it. Sleepy Bear was so happy. I got 20 praise. That's 1 praise for every minute it took. Jim watched me do it.
You spent a lot of time doing that. Yeah, I saw you. I was like, I wouldn't do that.
But
you don't love
Sleepy Bear so happy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recommend it. Worth it to make Sleepy Bear happy. Like, it woke him up. His eyes went like, boing. He was so happy. So, yeah, you bring those 5 dogs back to the princess and then have a fight with her dog. And she's like, well, I guess I got to go find the other 3. And then Isun's like, okay, well, you know what? We'll do it. You know, you got a lot on your hands here. You're managing this village. There's weird curses everywhere. And you can also run into Susano here, who wants to get into the Gale Temple, but there is a ghost guarding the Gale Temple that won't let anyone in. I don't think Susano can see it because he can't see like spirit creatures, and only Isun and Amaterasu can because they're like magical.
But he knows he can't get past this barrier for some reason.
Yeah. And the ghost does. So Vanessa, you do know this ghost is a ghost, right?
I do know the ghost is a ghost, and so I'm not afraid of it at all.
So you head. The ghost is like, only the special warriors can get past this, so leave this alone. Oh, and also the ghost is blind and sort of only detects your essence. And as you know, Amaterasu is a fair maiden, And so he only sees Amaterasu. He's like, "Get away from here, fair maiden. This is far too dangerous for you." That was fun.
Yeah.
Fur maiden?
Fair.
Fur maiden. Yep.
He doesn't know that Amaterasu is a wolf because he only detects her essential essence. So you then the princess does mark where she thinks the other 3 dogs are in general. One of them
They're just all over the place.
Well, yeah, one's in the first village, not Kokiri village, but something like that, Kamiki village. One is in the Agata forest, and one is in the Sasa sanctuary.
You have to do the sanctuary first. I wasted a lot of time running around to the other ones, and then there was nothing for me to do.
Yeah, because they're sort of on the, like, if you do them in the order that you can go, it's a lot easier, right? Like,
Yes, but I knew that I had to do something at nighttime in order to get into the Sasa sanctuary, and it was daytime.
oh, that's true. And it just turned to night, like, luckily for me. It just randomly turned to night. I was
Nice.
real happy about that. So, yeah, so you go to the old people's house because they're talking about how they just found something and they seem real creepy about it. And you can try exploring their house, so you can't find what they have. Although I think there's
And
like
we
a
should
big
make
moving
it
box.
clear. Yeah, I'm sorry, Johnny. When you get to this place, you're introduced to horrible old woman Cutter, I think is her name. And she does say that she is going to cut you and then chases you around with a knife.
She doesn't seem very nice.
No, she is a horrible old woman.
Best
And I
character
love her.
in the
Night.
game.
If you go
She
there at
is,
night,
I
her
agree.
husband is out there chasing you with a knife instead.
Yep. He says he's going to eat you.
They don't seem very nice.
That's
so
fair.
you
You're a
can-
wolf.
You can actually sneak into their house. You can't just go in, and you can go in the front door, but you need to sneak into their house through the roof to open up a hole that they fixed in their dilapidated old house. And it does cause, if you're at night, the moon does flow through, and there is something. I forget. Someone mentions it that moonlight reveals people's true nature. I feel like it's something that Amaterasu mentions, or no, Izun mentions, or something. So what you got to do is pretty fun here. You got to drag the sleeping Mrs. I think the sleeping Mrs. Cutter into the moonlight, and then her shadow shows up on the wall, and it's a big demon shadow.
Yeah, and the demon's like, you see me, okay, I'm gonna kill you.
But they don't see her true form and don't realize she is a warrior goddess and does destroy them both. You kill them. You kill the Cutters.
Yep.
Cool.
You murder 2 old people. And as soon
Jim,
as
how did you feel about killing these old people?
I loved it.
Why?
dragging the old lady
'Cause
into
it
the
made me
moonlight was
feel
pretty
good.
fun. Using the bite
All
command.
right, listeners, that's what years of Stephen King readership will do to you. Love slaughtering old people. Jim Banks.
Made him feel good.
It did make it
It
feel
rules. It rules.
good. So you drag the old people into the moonlight, you fight them and kill them, and then you find that twitching chest in their house is actually a trap, and inside is a marvelous girl.
A marvelous girl who's a burb.
I have her name in my phone somewhere. Do you remember her name?
A little
Marvelous,
sparrow
like
cutie
She-Hulk?
girl.
Like a Miss Marvel? Like a Captain
Yeah. Exactly like
Marvel?
that. So there's this fat little girl, and she's in this basket. We'd actually heard about this basket in town.
Wow.
There is a man who cuts bamboo at this sanctuary, but
Is he
says
also
that
fat?
he's not. He's skinny, and the sanctuary's been closed
Please
because
describe everyone by their body type.
Okay. The daughter of the leader has been kidnapped. So she tells us that she is going to lead us back to where she lives. She comes with us, and we pass through this stone archway, and we see a man who is standing against a cliffside. pushing on the cliff. And he's like,
Hey.
I know that this sanctuary is here, but I can't figure out how to get to it. But we are able to.
A fat man, a skinny man.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's a little bit short and a little bit fat.
Thank you.
So we are able to, however, pass through a magical archway, which then reveals the path behind the cliffside because we are pure of heart.
Are we?
We are.
You can bite people.
Yeah, but like in a pure way. Animals are always pure. They don't have malicious intent. They just like to bite. Except for
I've
cats,
known
and that's
animals
why they're
with
the best
malicious
animal.
intent.
Yeah, kitties are the best.
Yeah.
They bite you.
Definitely cats. Mm-hmm. Jim's cat had malicious intent when it tried to sit in my lap and then tried to hang on with its claws.
Yeah, my cat.
It was too fat to sit.
My cat slapped me on the foot today with its claws.
Wow.
And I was like, I love you. Good,
What did you
fierce
do?
Kitty. Nothing. Moved my foot. He was just lying in bed next to me while I was playing this game. So we enter this sanctuary, and there we see two thin sparrow birds who are guarding. And they're like, the sanctuary's closed. You can't come in here. And they realize that we have this girl with us. And they say, oh, you have the chief's daughter. Well, let's bring out Big Daddy. And a wall rotates. And Matt, we've talked fat before. Let me tell you, this is the fattest guy I've ever seen in this game. This guy is a chunker. Not even the fattest bird. The fattest
Is
anything.
he a fat chocobo?
He's a fat sparrow. Even fatter than Sleepy Bear, I would say.
Is he fatter than Fat Chocobo from Phantasy Star 4?
I don't know.
Oh, no, not Chocobo. That's Fat Rappy or whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, you wouldn't
But
get a
there is
chocobo in a Fantasy Star.
There is a fat Chocobo as well, that summon. I feel like it's about the same size as the summoned Fat Chocobo.
Yeah,
The
may
fat
well
chocobo in Final Fantasy 15 is like the size of a bus.
Mm-hmm.
This
I would say
Pretty
he's
big.
not the size of a bus, but he's bigger than a very big man.
And Chun is the daughter. She's adorable. And her big dad is Jamba. And
Big Daddy Jamba.
She does, like, she's so excited to see her dad. She jumps on his tummy and it makes little boing boing sounds. It's really adorable. This whole scene just made me go like, oh, look at them. They're so happy.
Yep. And at first when you got there, I had actually been there before, and Big Daddy had been revealed. And the guards are like, uh-oh, Big Daddy's going to speak. And Big Daddy goes, cheap. And he goes, and then they hear like, oh no, he's really upset with you. And this time, Big Daddy goes, cheap. And the guards go, oh no, he says you did a great job. Everything he says, they
always
preface
say,
it
oh
with,
no.
Yeah. Oh no.
He does have a mysterious eye patch that I love.
He does.
He's a big bird with an eye patch. It's the best.
He's just an amazing person / bird.
But, this is a far more positive and interesting portrayal of a fat person than the whale, I assume.
You haven't even seen the whale.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. Just saying, you haven't seen it.
It's true, Jim.
You don't know.
It's true.
You're right, Jim. So you get access to this beautiful inn. You can feed all the mice that live in the inn. There's a lot of little
And
mice
I did.
hiding around in every
didn't.
room. They're so
I was worried
cute.
I'd get in trouble for feeding the mice, because that will just encourage them. But nobody
No,
saw me.
See, the birds are human-sized, but the mice are mice-sized.
As
Big
long as
Daddy
those
is
burbs are
not
human-sized.
human-sized. You can fuck them.
What? I'm not.
I was just finishing Matt's sentence. That's where you were
Oh.
going with that, right?
For sure. Of course. 100 emoji.
So then you go outside, and they're because you're invited to stay at this inn and enjoy all the services, and they do say, "Oh, you should try the wonderful baths." They don't mention the baths are dry.
No.
That should be the first thing that they mention.
Maybe they don't know.
And then you have to do like a Dig Dug style super bullshit mini game because
that was like really bullshit.
Because the Mr. Bamboo is there, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? You could together we could actually find the source of the water."
Weirdest payoff. Yeah.
It was so weird. I think you can play it again if you want. And play
it's a weird thing.
Also, there is the most upsetting character in the game, the self-flagellating bird who has two flaming sticks and is trying to roast itself into like a roast sparrow.
He feels so bad that he doesn't have a beautiful spring to show you that he ups in his torment does try to kill himself with fire.
Yeah, self-immolation is no joke, and I did not enjoy this.
I thought it was very cute.
No, it's terrible.
Self-immolation is a joke to John.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you two, you and Mr. Bamboo find the source of the water in a very like retro Dig Dug style arcade game. And
we'll get into it with your bullshit minigame corner.
Yeah.
John, what's that delicious bubbly drink in front of you?
It's called Diet Pepsi.
Ugh. I was watching the condensation roll down and the bubbles roll up, and I was like, that looks delicious. But it sounds disgusting.
What kind of snack are you pairing that with, Johnny?
I have some Fudgios here, but I think I'm done with. I can't eat more than 4 cookies or 5 cookies without feeling gross. Fudgios are a great cookie that are too good for the United States.
You know what? The cookie selection in the States is deceptively garbage. There's so many cookies here, and they all suck.
Do you get Peak Freens in?
Nope.
Oh, they're great.
I bet we do.
We get Girl Scout cookies, and they're amazing.
I'm sure you could order Peak Freens in. The chocolate ones with like a little salt on them are the best.
You know what I ordered? I got some in my kitchen. Collection of miscellaneous Cadbury bars. I got a Whisper. I got a Picnic.
Sweet.
I got a Curly Whirly.
Did you see
I
that?
thought you were going to say a
or...
collection of miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Or was it? It might have been a milkshake. Did you see that milkshake Julio got because Julio was in England, and he got that milkshake that had a whole chocolate bar in it?
Yeah.
Was it like a 99 but in milkshake form?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or was it a zombie shake? Is that what those are called? People are super into those things.
I
don't know what that is.
So that does return water to the spring, and then suddenly a constellation does appear that gives you the power to move water. Basically, it lets you fill the spring by like, going from a water source to another thing, and you can also do this to like put out fires and do solve like optional landscape puzzles, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, I love landscape puzzles. Thank God we can solve some landscape puzzles. Like, you know, how do I edge this corner?
It's like in Zelda where you can find little chunks of heart and stuff by doing little puzzles around the world. You know, like those.
Well, I wouldn't call it a landscape puzzle.
Okay, well, just random side puzzles around the world.
They're not really even puzzles. They're like treasures.
Yeah, they are. They're little puzzles.
Sometimes there's a little puzzle, I guess. You know, I guess if I had to come up with a technical term for it, I think I would probably call it a landscape puzzle.
Thank you. So then the bird guy...
I call it environmental navigation.
Yeah.
No, navigation is walking around and
it's more environmental puzzles.
Environmental puzzles. Environmental... What's a word for a secret that's a puzzle?
What's a word for a secret that's a puzzle?
Jim.
Yeah, listeners, what's a word for a secret that's a puzzle? Oh, Jim.
Hey.
What's a word for a secret that's a puzzle? Look at us with both of your eyes, not one at a time.
He's busy. He
Don't do that.
You don't have time to look at us with both eyes.
Bomb.
Bob bomb?
Call it
Vanessa.
bomb.
Bob bomb.
Did you like how the sparrow was so happy that he sort of let his fire sticks
the
fall to the
longest
side,
episode ever.
and he did not notice that one did set him on fire.
Yeah, this time he's fully on fire. I noticed it. I was unhappy about it. I've made my feelings about this whole situation clear.
Sounds like
but
a South Park
happily
moment.
Maybe. But we do now have jet stream power, so we can shoot a stream of water up from the lake and put him right out.
It also gives you the power to create like a platform from certain water spots and create a geyser that you can stand on to get to higher levels. So that's fun.
It is
And-
fun.
Yeah, I liked it. So then there's this gate because you got to get to the remainder of Sasa Sanctuary there, but there's a gate in the way and it's closed. And I spent like 10 minutes searching this area trying to figure out how to open it. The answer is you got to talk to an old man,
Yeah,
specifically
bamboo
Mr.
guy.
Bamboo.
There's I have always called these like deer scarers. These particular kind of Japanese garden fountain that is a piece of hollow bamboo. Water enters the bamboo from above,
On a
and then
fulcrum.
and then when the bamboo is full, it drops down and makes a very satisfying plonk noise. It was used to great effect in Kill Bill Volume 2, is it? Or is it the first one? No, I think it's the climax of the first one with Lucy Liu and the fight in the garden.
Oh, what a great scene.
Yeah, and when the bride gets there, it's pretty silent, I think, except for that noise of the thing filling up and dropping. Oh, it's great. We endorse that scene.
Do we?
Don't endorse the whole foot thing. Stop it. Stop doing it.
Did Jim leave while I fucking walked away? He did.
Jim is having a break.
Yeah, Jim's thinking about stuff. Closing one eye
Y'all
and
are
then
lucky
opening the other.
that I fucking showed up.
We
Okay?
are.
I'm here. I'm participating.
Right. So, you put some water into that little tippy bamboo thing, and it opens up the gate.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I love a gate.
And then you get access to the sanctuary. Inside the sanctuary are lots of bamboo trees, and
Is that good?
a big bird boy, a big sad bird boy, a soft boy.
Oh, is he
bird
yellow?
boy.
Does he ride a bicycle? Tell us more.
No, he's just sad because he can't find his dog, and his dog's a very good boy, and he needs his dog, and now he's even sadder. He's a real strong sad, if you will. I'm sad about my dog. That's the sort
John,
of what
I'm
he says.
sorry that you're the only person on the show that's watched Strong Bad.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some of it, but not for a long time.
Yeah, I've seen some of it too, but I'm talking about seeing enough that you can understand these references.
Yeah, I'm too young to have watched that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
by the
You
time I was
skimmed
born,
through some
Flash
of it on
animation was
YouTube.
done.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I apologize. You skimmed through some of it on TikTok.
Yes, I did.
So you go to the end, and then there's this thing where like these bamboo things are flashing, and I think it's like supposed to be a whole puzzle, but I just slashed the first one as it glowed, and a dog was inside. It's like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we had to time it to like which one was blinking, but it's kind of like those wall guys. Like it shows you where to put your brush, and then you just put it there. It's not a complicated puzzle.
No, I'm sure it took Jim 5 or 6 tries though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's not
the
true.
dog-
Jim is apparently 4 hours into this game to Vanessa's 17.
17. Yeah.
And John's 8?
10.
And my
10 minutes or 10 hours and 15
6
minutes
for the first chunker, and that's legit, folks. That's not an exaggeration.
Well, it took Vanessa, I think, 6.5 or something.
It took me a long time. Yeah. No. Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
I resisted I've been resisting using a guide. I don't want to use a guide. That makes games worse. That makes playing games for the show worse, in my experience. Vanessa,
well, for me, it depends. If it's like a complicated JRPG, I'll totally use a guide. But if it's this,
I mean, for
I don't need a guide.
for that mana game that Vanessa made us play that was amazing, I am so thankful we used a guide. So
yeah,
sometimes
that game use a guide. But I think Vanessa told us from the beginning we should use a guide.
I did indeed.
Vanessa always tells us to use a guy.
I always tell you to use a guy for sure, because it makes them feel good. They feel like they're useful, they're being productive members of society, and they're contributing to your life, and guys really like that.
That's why Vanessa wants an Alex Horn. Well,
I can understand why you would believe. But
she wants more
that
the Paul, what's his face from the other one, but
The Office.
I have made my feelings on this very clear. I am not a picky person when it comes to people who have appeared on any international version of Taskmaster. I will take any of them.
So, now...
I refuse to be roped into a Taskmaster conversation.
Dog.
Talk to me about this game.
Big Bird Boy. Big Bird Boy. He's like, it's my dog.
Paint a word picture for me, Johnny.
Well, the dog...
each of the dogs do look different.
Why does John keep saying a big
species.
bird boy? Like, all you can see is Big Bird, John. You're going to have to describe it to me. I'm not caught up.
So the
it
dog's
looks like a house sparrow.
I see you carry the sacred canine tracker. Show me that you're worthy to hold such a thing. And like the dog speaks. Each dog is a different type of dog. There's like a collie. I think this one is the collie, and its tail is so floofy and happy. Oh, I loved it.
I don't consider myself to be a dog person. There's a lot to dislike about dogs, but the thing that I dislike about dogs the most is the way they smell. Like you touch them and then you have that dog smell on your hands.
They smell like corn pops.
They do not smell like corn pops. They smell like gross.
So this dog fights you, and the bird boy is very upset about this. It's like, I can't believe that you two are fighting. You stop attacking my dog. And the dog's like, very well, you have proved your mettle as a warrior. And but the dog says, hey, I can't go. I gotta take care of sad boy bird boy. And I know the princess has summoned me, but I can't respond. I can't do my duty. But then suddenly his orb starts glowing and flies into Amaterasu. What a good boy.
Yeah. And Amaterasu inherits this dog's orb of duty.
Yep. And then the dog's like, well, then use it well. Go protect the village in my honor. I will protect Sasa Sanctuary and Sad Boy Bird Boy. I promised I would, and I will. And so that's the end of that little plot line. But there's 2 more dogs you gotta find, and who are these dogs? It's the other 2 dogs you've seen in the game.
Yeah.
Actually, there are random field dogs.
Cowboy dog is one of them. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Dog would look like a cowboy.
There's Turnip Boy dog. And then there's a Bridge Boy dog. So first, you got to do... I think either of those 2 you can do in whichever order. But you have to do Bird Boy dog first to get the water power.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is... you go back to see the boy because you're pretty sure you know who the dog is that you got to do.
It's Hank the cow dog, right?
But guess what? Guess what happens here? Guess what happens?
I don't have to guess because I did play this chunker. So Matt, why don't you guess what happens?
Yeah.
Hank the cow dog shows up and he's like, he solves the crime and gets the coyote. That's my guess.
Well, Umi, the dog, is missing because he got swallowed by a giant catfish.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And the
Catfish
catfish
always
does want
swallowing
to eat.
dogs.
It does want to eat the moon, but
What?
Yeah, it wants to eat the moon.
Who doesn't?
So the catfish is brought out by the reflection of the moon on the water, but unfortunately it's daytime. Unless there is a way to turn day to night, like by drawing a crescent and the rabbit of the moon comes in holding one of those like weird bamboo hammer
fun.
things and then teaches you how to turn day to night with its like
I do
crescent
like
moon.
that you can turn day to night in this game. You know?
Just like a
Like
Zelda.
that. Yes, but much less annoying than in a Zelda.
You
I don't
don't
know
have
why.
to play an ocarina.
Yeah, I don't have the fucking ocarina. I just. Ugh.
So, one more fishing game. You gotta catch the whopper, which is this giant catfish that has swallowed the moon. The dog. Not the moon. And this is fun. I like catching. It takes a few tries to catch the whopper. It doesn't go in one hit like the other ones. You gotta do the fishing mini game again. But you you help the boy land the whopper, and the boy's like, "Oh, but my dog is dead." But then, out of the mouth of the catfish pops Umi. And
Again?
Umi's
The
fine.
dog.
Again.
And yeah.
This is the same thing that happened at the end of the last chunker.
Well,
yep,
yeah,
we saved
kind
the
of.
dog again.
Yeah. That actually, I think Isun mentions that dog keeps getting swallowed by things. And then Umi's like, turns to you and says, and it does. His name isn't Umi; it's Hayabasu. And he turns to you and says, "I see you carry the sacred canine tracker. Who are you to bear such a thing? Fight me to show that you're worthy of this honor." And so you fight Hayabasu.
Right.
And then you do show you're worthy of that honor. And then he's like, "But I can't. I need to protect this boy. His dad." Was it his dad that died? Yeah, his dad died. And the woodsman's helping him. And I think the boy or the woodsman saved the dog's life, and he feels like he owes a debt to them and can't leave them. And that all seems so sad. But then another power orb flies out of him and into Amaterasu.
Yep.
Oh boy.
One boy and dog left. Tell me about this last boy and dog, Vanessa.
This last boy and dog is the boy and dog who you meet in the village at the beginning of the game.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah,
you
you may
have to pull the
recall that
turnips?
he eats all the turnips, and we dug up all those turnips. So we go there, and the dog is like, "Listen, I know what's going on, but I can't talk to you during the daytime. Come back at nighttime, and we'll talk man to man." And Itsu is like, "I think you mean wolf to dog." So you return at nighttime. Easy, you can just turn it into night with your magical powers. I will say that this game, I think, really does a good job of making me feel like a god. All of Amaterasu's powers. Am I saying that right? You said it differently, Johnny.
Amaterasu.
Emma. Say the second syllable again. Amaterasu.
Yeah, it's not
So,
that hard.
all of Amaterasu's powers are very godly to me, making flowers bloom and turning day to night and all of that stuff. It's cool. So, we return at nighttime, and the dog says, "Listen, I'm going to fight you." And at this point, I was so sick of fighting these dogs, so I'm like, fine. I don't know if there's a better way to fight them than the way I did, which is just when their little collars glow, hit them with a slash, and then bite them a whole bunch.
I think you can also, if you equip a shield, you can, time a parry or a dodge, and it makes them flip over.
Oh, yeah. I never did play with a shield.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to do that to make these a little bit less tedious.
Have we gotten anything new here, or is it still the laser gun and the fire wheel?
You haven't. Yeah, it's still the shield, laser gun, the beads, and the the other one, the
I
shield.
mean, the beads are the laser gun.
Well, no, but it's got two. The beads can be either like a whip or like a gun, depending on how you do it, how you equip them, because you have the main weapon and the sub weapon.
Yeah, I was aware of that. That's why I called them the laser gun, though, because that's what I did with them. Laser gun.
Using the beads as the main weapon is so overpowered, especially once you power them up and get the chain for them. It's really good.
Oh, is it? Maybe I need to do that.
Maybe I need to do that.
They make the game
John,
combat
why are
really
you holding
easy.
out on us? Why did we have to fight with you to get this information? Vanessa, get him.
Johnny, you know
Vanessa,
that it's been taking us a long time to play this game. We could use these tips and tricks.
All right. I'm sorry. I know every time I give it tips and tricks before, you're all like, who cares? But anyway, so you get the dog will not go join the boy, or it will go stay with the boy. And of course, you get the dog's orb. You go back to see Princess Fuse. She's like, where are the other dogs? You're like, well, we got some bad news, but we do have their orb powers, and they start glowing around you and go to join the princess's other orbs. And in this room where she's like flanked by the 5 dogs that did show up. And I like that room. It was pretty fun. And she's like, well, I guess we have to go to the Gale Shrine. And Issun's like, how about we go to the Gale Shrine? We're pretty powerful. And she's like, all right. And then gives you the power of all 8 orbs. Actually, I think they go to you on your own. She does not really
give it to you. Yeah. She says the orbs choose who holds them, and the orbs have chosen you.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And so now it's time for you to go to the Gale Shrine and do a Zelda dungeon. So we do. The ghost guarding the Gale Shrine is real happy to see that you have the power, and he's like, okay, okay, fair maiden, just be careful. There's demons inside. To
what
which
makes it a Zelda dungeon?
It's got puzzles. It's got a boss key. It's got
the Spider
the
Queen
map.
was definitely a Zelda boss, so this one has a Zelda boss too?
It sure does.
That's
It's
cool.
very Ganondorf-y. Like that first time where he's coming out of the paintings at you kind of boss. So the first thing that you do is you go to the Gale Shrine. At the very tippy top of the Gale Shrine, big old windmill. And it's not moving because the demons have taken the... Although, I guess when you return all 8 power orbs, it does make the village nice again, which is nice. It makes the village not dark and spooky. And when you go to the Gale... it's this point where it makes it not dark and spooky, because you learn the power of wind and get rid of the dark wind cursing the village. And by reversing... I like that you reverse the wind by drawing backwards. It's pretty fun. Do you like that?
Yeah,
Vanessa?
it's cool. You can do it backwards or forwards. I guess I have nothing to add to that. Okay. You said it.
Yeah. And the starts turning the big windmill. The town is now free of its curse, and you are free to go explore the rest. You got wind power. It's free to explore the rest of the dungeon, which is mercifully short.
Yeah, it's a real good shorty. I love it.
Yeah. There's a elevator you have to move by putting a bomb in it. That's pretty fun, and has 2 levels of bombing that you got to do. That's the only trick, but it sort of shows you there's 3 floors, so it sort of lets you know what you're supposed to do. I like that. And you fight. So you go to the. You turn some windmills inside the dungeon, and to get to the final boss area, and.
Sorry,
we
we're
were wondering if Jim was
about...
coming back. He says he can't because he's tired and he's under a weighted blanket. And then he added cozy.
I have a weighted blanket, and they are cozy.
I also have a weighted blanket, and now that he's mentioned it, I would like to be under my weighted blanket too. So let's wrap this up.
I live in Florida, and nothing sounds worse than being under a heavy blanket. I would rather die than have a heavy blanket on me.
It gets cold in the winter sometimes where you are.
Yeah, ask me again in the winter, and we'll revisit the discussion. I
All
can
right.
only speak for now, Matt.
So, wind power. Wind power, I like that it's very powerful. It's not just a little like hand fan you have here. You have a full on like jet engine.
Yeah. And it can turn turbines and things.
I may have said this last week, and I know I'm a little behind on the times here, but I did, by the end of the last episode, figure out that you can really just abuse the shit out of the freeze time and kill things power.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And if
so
you
is
kill
it like
them
that?
the right way,
that's great.
you get a demon
I just want to
fang.
kill everything on the screen as quickly as possible.
I need to practice killing things the right way because I always feel like I'm using the right patterns, but I don't get these demon fangs.
The thing that really gets the demon, I thought it was to do the puzzles that quickly defeat them, but I think really what gives you the demon fang is when they're floating up at the end after you've defeated them.
Yes.
Then you cut them in half, and that gives you the
Yes.
demon fang.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Well, I
does
think I
say
told
that
you the
in
wrong
the-
thing last time.
It does say that in the journal thing in the game that you have to
Yeah.
get them when there's like a period when they're dead where they start to turn into plants or something, and that's when you got to get them.
Yeah. And that's how you get your demon. And you only need 100 to get that one super powerful thing from that guy. Anyway, so you have a final boss. To answer a previous question, this boss shows up in a big cow on fire. Fire cow.
Yep. And then Johnny's like, "This cow is on fire."
Mm-hmm. So there is a big fire cow. And
the bovine's on fire.
it took me a little while to kind of figure out the trick of this one. And the trick of this one is that you got to hit, even though you don't do any damage, you got to hit it enough that it like falls down and then bursts into flames. Blow out the flames with your Gale power, and then you can like smack it, and it turns into a skeleton.
Uh-huh. We get a little mercy here in that the beads that we brought with us protect us from his fire attacks until they're used up. So however many there are of them, 8. We get kind of 8 freebies to figure out what to do with this guy.
And it took me 9 hits.
To figure out what to do with this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So I did lose all my beads. This boss was a little harder than the first boss, but it was still, once you figure it out, it's not bad. And I destroyed him. Oh, there is one point we forgot to mention where Waka, the Frenchman, does attack you again for some reason, and then gives you a new prophecy that you got to find puppies. And then here in the
With the
Gale
blitz
Shrine,
ball?
Yeah. Yeah, with
And then-
his blitz ball.
he says he's looking to find the serpent crystal in the Gale Shrine so that he can go to the Moon Cave. These are all real things that I just mentioned. So when you're about to fight this boss, it's because you see the serpent crystal at the other side, and you're like, oh, we're gonna get it before that stupid Waka guy. But then the boss jumps you on the way, and that's where you get into this big boss fight. And it looks like you defeat it, but then you find out the boss is like, hey, this isn't even my final form, and then comes back with like 8 or 9 serpent heads, just like Orochi has, but they're made of fire. And oh no, who can defeat this thing? Vanessa, who can defeat this thing?
Only the greatest warrior in the whole land, and I think we all know who that is.
Susano!
Yay!
He shows up, and he's still carrying his stupid wooden sword, and he's like, I'll do, out of the way, dog, I'll solve this. This will get rid of the voices in my head forever. And
The what now? Who now?
the voices
Talk about
in his
burying
head.
your lead. Oh, my gosh.
All right, so finally, Susano attacks. You got to do the helping out Susano attacking thing. And
I
then
hate
he's
this.
like, all right,
Why
I've
is
got
this?
one
Why
more
do you
move.
like this? Defend your
I don't
position.
know. I think it's fun. And then he's like, although this one's harder than the first couple of times because the enemies move even when you pause time, and there is only a couple of seconds to do each attack. So it took me, like, you have to do those slashes fast this time.
That sounds terrible.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Oh, that's good.
Well, are you playing on easy? Because I think
Is there
that
an
makes it
easy
slower.
mode?
I thought
There
so.
isn't an easy mode, I don't
there isn't?
think.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, so it's tricky.
I wish I was
I
playing
found
on
this
the
tricky.
easy.
fucking wish I was playing on easy.
But Vanessa,
kidding?
pro gamer Vanessa's like, no problem. So you slash all these heads, and then he's like, now I just need some wind. I need to summon the wind, and so you do some wind on him, and he's like, more wind, more. So you do it a couple more times, and he turns into like this turbine. Here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed, Vanessa. After you did that, he cut the Crimson Helm, the boss you're fighting, without your help.
Oh, did he?
He did. He killed it without your power.
I thought that we had sort of like...
I mean, we powered him up. We like spun him like a top. But I feel like, I don't know. It seemed like that was him more than us.
I didn't get that impression. I thought that we just kind of wound him up and set him on it. And
Okay.
I take credit for it. Full credit.
And that does defeat the boss, and then Susano like gets super mad. He's like, I don't like this. It's obvious this isn't me doing it. I'm not a warrior. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of being told I'm Nagi's descendant. I don't care. I just want to sit alone. I don't know why people keep asking for my help. And then all this despair and gloom and anger summons a dark shadow that wants to talk to him. And he's like, oh, dark shadow. And the shadow's like going up to his face. And Susano's like, not again. And runs away.
Mm-hmm. My ears did prick up at the again thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition, that weird French guy did say that whoever stole the sword ran to the village from the beginning where Susano lives.
Uh-oh. Good observation, Vanessa.
Thank you very much. I'm a world-class detective.
Speaking of that,
That's why your
Frenchman,
knives are out, and you have a
while
glass
you're
onion.
dealing with Susano's weird tantrum and a dark god showing up, who shows up in the background to swipe that serpent crystal?
Frenchie!
Yep, he grabs it and is like, well, this is mine, you losers. Later. Oh, by the way, I have one more potent for you, one more prophecy. A fine little something or other she's going to be waiting for you. A sweet little darling or something. I forget what he says.
Yeah.
Splish.
And then he's like, au revoir!
And he heads out with that serpent crystal. And then the prompt is like, do you want to save your game? Yeah. Or not really. That answer made me laugh. And that's the end of the chunker.
We did it, gang.
we
We all
did.
played it, and we won, and we fought the boss and defeated it.
I was very
Next
proud
time-
of
Played it. We
Vanessa.
did a great
Next
job.
week, we're
and
going to
we...
play to the end of this chunker again. That's the
No, next week we're going to play to the end of the moon cave. We're going to catch up to Waka and show him what's what. Who the real
Let's
deal is.
ball.
Yeah. Thanks for being proud of me, Johnny. I did have to play this whole chunker all today, as well as the hour of the chunker I didn't play last time.
And this chunker took me 4.5 hours. And I think it took Vanessa like 7 hours or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is happening.
He's
I'm
following
feeding
a
every
guide.
single animal.
He's streaming it and reading off of his phone the guide the whole time.
I'm not
Oh,
reading.
is
the game,
he?
No,
Yeah, he
the
is.
game tells you how to
Yeah, 100%
do
is.
things.
Vanessa, he's lying. He's a cheater.
I'm not. I'm not.
And he apparently knows like the best setup for the most powerful weapons and things like that.
just
I bet this makes the
experimented.
fights really fast. I ain't got time to experiment. I gotta finish the chunker quick. It's my own fault. I could have played it. I was playing Dreamlight Valley instead.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can't all play the game all the time.
We can't all play the game all the time.
Updates. One from me.
So, that's it. Bullshit mini games. We got log game. Log game, a little tricky because you really only have a second to pause and grab those vines. But it was fine. It was cute. But that Dig Dug game, I finished it and I don't understand what I did. I mean, I sort of got how it worked. That was weird.
I felt like it didn't tell you that you could use bombs. Is that true? Like, it tells you you can
use
headbutt the
bombs?
blocks or dig. That's what I did. I just bombed my way down to the very
maybe
bottom.
I feel like that's
I
a
knew I
very
could
Zelda
slash them.
thing, to be honest with you, Vanessa, which is that secretly the bombs do everything.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
so.
makes sense. And that game was fun. I did get that old man hurt a couple of times on spikes. I was like, oops, it's sort of like Lemmings in that way, where he'll keep walking forward. Yeah, that was a cute little mini game. It was fine. I wouldn't go back and play it to get better scores because I don't care that. I'm not trying to 100% in this game. I don't have that kind of time. I'm just gonna play it for fun because it's a fun game.
It's a fun game. We're having fun, and everybody likes it.
Except Matt.
Except for Matt.
All right. Well, was there any other mini game? I think that's the two important mini games, at least. And there's fishing again, but we talked about fishing last time.
We did.
I love this game, and I've already 100%ed it, and you guys don't even know that I've platinumed
So, Matt, what are
this
you
game.
roundly for or squarely against this chunker?
Oh, you know what? I'm roundly for Jim just going ahead and taking the night off, you know? Like, nice, good for him. That was a good idea for him.
I
to
believe
just
he got
bail.
drunk and passed out, Matthew. That's very different.
I got drunk and then came home.
And got on the recording. It's true.
I did.
And I have
I'm
been
the
drinking
fucking best.
water.
Wow. I've continued to
I've
drink,
been
and now
drinking
I'm much
Diet
more drunk
Pepsi
than
and
I
milk.
was when we started.
I
Did
had
you
the
just say
milk for the
Diet
pickle.
Pepsi and milk?
Not at the same time.
Oh my
Yeah.
You
god!
said-
Ah! Canada is terrible.
I had the milk with the cookies. I had the energy drink.
I'm
I had the
surprised
Diet
that
Pepsi.
you were allowed
What?
to record this podcast today.
All of that.
Certainly,
oh, yeah,
soccer
that's
was
right.
not allowed to be played today. John,
Yeah.
Oh, that's how I leveled up. There's a new season of Great British Bake Off on Netflix.
Oh,
I
but
thought it
is
was going
is
to be
it on
delayed.
hiatus in honor? Oh, it really is? That was a
No,
joke.
well, I said I thought it was going to be delayed, but it
Oh.
apparently was not because the first episode dropped on Friday.
So, Vanessa, what are
Yes,
you
Johnny.
roundly for or squarely against?
I am roundly for big fat birdies.
Yep.
I liked that big fat bird. I liked how he had a cute little daughter. I liked how he said cheap. I like him. I'd like
You said
the
chirp, though, Vanessa. You
Oh.
didn't say cheap.
my bad. I like the colorful characters in this game. Johnny, what are you roundly for or squarely against?
I am roundly for having even more animals to feed. But also the dogs, like recruiting the dogs and how when they're happy, they're especially like these angry warrior dogs are talking so seriously, but their tails start wagging so floofily and it's so funny. Like their butts get all wiggly. Aw, it's really fun. What a great chunker. I had so
Yep.
much fun. The Sasa Sanctuary was delightful. That whole bird's great. I liked killing those old people. As Jim said, it made me feel powerful.
Yep, it's all really cute. It's all really good. I continue to be roundly for the fact that the dog will just curl up on the ground and lie down when people are talking for a long time.
yeah,
It's great.
that is funny. It also he also does that. She also does that if you put your controller down and walk away.
There's one part where Isun's being just a big whiny jerk. I think about the boy, like he's criticizing that one boy, and Amaterasu does bite him, so he shuts up. That was great. Or like it swallows him and puts him in his mouth. Not swallow, but mouths him. What would you call that?
I don't know, John, because the Isun is like an inch tall, so this actually sounds like attempted murder.
Well, the dog let him go eventually. All right, let's wrap it up. We got a Patreon right now.
God.
There is a vote going on. Live Alive is one of them. As
What's the
is
category?
Undertale. The category is one-shot RPGs with no sequel. Deltarune does not count because that is a spin-off game. It's not a sequel. So
The creator of Undertale and Deltarune says it's not a sequel, so don't at me about Deltarune.
there's
It's one-off
Undertale.
RPGs. We've got Live a Live, Undertale.
What was Vanessa's? Oh, Last Remnant.
Yeah.
Yes, Last Remnant. And then Jim's was Moon. Moon! Guys, Moon.
I'm excited to try all of these. I think
M-O-O-N spells moon.
I wish
true.
that we could try. I would love to play all of these.
well, I'm sure we
But
will at
particularly
some point.
Undertale, which we need to fucking play on the show already.
Eh,
But also, if it does win, then we have to launch the next poll immediately.
immediately. that game's maybe 2 chunkers or 3 if you really want to stretch it. So, Vanessa.
Yes, sir. Hello.
What does so being a $5 patron gets you the chance to vote? But what do you get from being a $3 patron that you also get? From
I
being
want
a
to tell you about that. I want to read you an email.
What?
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
This
You can't
email.
possibly read the whole thing.
That's fine. It's like 2 paragraphs.
This email is from Rubber Bear. And Rubber Bear writes, one second, let me get ready for this. Have a little sip of water.
Great email, John.
Nope. Okay, I'm ready. Rubber Bear writes, "Hi all. I'll keep this short as Vanessa only read half my email last time. Not better at all, I ain't. Just to say, I've been playing Ōkami, mostly handheld on the Switch, and I feel like it's the best version. Brush moves on the touchscreen are so much easier than even the Wii, and in fact, I can play it on me, comfort breaks at work, if you know what I mean, Governor." The slow story text doesn't bother me as much. Side note, I'd just forgotten how unexpectedly goofy this game is. Also, I procrastinate like crazy and don't do social media as it's bad for me brains. So, Mr. Brandon, to your answer. Oh gosh, I just slipped into Southern there. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Mr. Brandon sent me
Absolutely.
right.
Mr. Brandon.
I do
It's all
declare.
right. Vanessa, we've got your feigning couch ready for you.
So, Mr. Brandon, to answer your question from over
What
a
is
year ago.
this?
Yes, I am aware of Invincible Rubber and their high-quality apparel. I also have family in Chatham. We could be cousins.
Oh,
This
God.
isn't Southern Belle at all. You slipped into Newsy for a minute.
Also, Vanessa's impression of me wasn't cannily good.
Yeah, this also sounds uncannily good.
Hope this doesn't come off like Superfan Sam from Only Matters in the Building. You is my favorite podcast, you is. Thanks,
You is.
Rubber Bear.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
I've been trying to master a Geordie accent, which is difficult because I didn't know what a Geordie was until about a week ago when I looked it up.
No, that's not Geordie. That's Devon.
I know what a Geordie
That's
is
her.
because I've seen Geordie Shore.
Have you really?
Yup.
Wow.
Oh no,
This is
a
huge
Johnny.
news.
Well, the first guy I ever kissed was a Geordie.
They sort of have a very open mouth kind of voice,
Yeah,
I
he
feel
did.
like.
All right. Well, anyway. We need to read Patreon names.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell us what happens at the $5 level.
$3 Patreons get access to all our bonus episodes. Don't ask us what this month is. Just don't. We're busy. There will be something. I promise.
I thought we were doing PowerPoints.
No, that's
we?
Johnny's idea, and this
the
is my
real-
special month.
This is
That-
the
we
real.
don't have time.
This
We don't have
is
time for
the
PowerPoints.
real reason I'm not caught up on Ōkami. I've spent 20 hours on my PowerPoint at this point.
Well, we'll do that for December.
Yeah, that's a good
You got
idea.
All right. We can do, since it's our 50th game, we could rank games, but we haven't finished our 50th
Stop
game.
giving me ideas. I already told you what I'm doing.
Oh.
It's my month, and you can't have it.
What is it?
What is
I'm
it?
not telling you again. It's a
Oh.
surprise.
Well, you haven't told me.
Do I need to know? Do I need to prepare? Do something?
You don't need to do anything.
Oh, okay, then that's fine then.
Until she gives you a list of tasks.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Anyway, yeah, Vanessa, why don't you start us off on we get to thank all our Patreons, although a chunker at a time. Why don't you thank the first chunker here of Patreons?
Okie dokie. 1 second here. Why doesn't someone else start us off?
I would
All
like
right.
to thank Citrus C, Gage Lasharite, a sad boy, nerd boy, who needs friends like you.
Aw, buddy.
Chris Pignac, Huxley Iguana, Jim. Oh my God, did you see Ben's hat? He did, but then he fell asleep. Sean Walsh, no sweater meat, time to beat feet. Florian Jonas Kramer,
What?
the RPG luminary, baby. Nick, Eric Garby, and Beauty is in all 11 eyes of a beholder. Slay one, get your set now.
And I would like to thank Jake Dickerson, David Green, Megan Sullivan, Samu Mitchell, Sam Harrison likes big boats, they cannot lie, Abortion Rights Are Human Rights, Miguel Torres, Tracy the Borg Queen, Race Jenkins, Cyril the Wolf, This Just In, Eldritch Embodiment of Darkness receives sick burn from Plastic Cowboy Toy, and Robert T.
I'd like to thank Tom, Ross Hartley, Live a Live, No Piracy Needed, Justin Ham, Bree Girth, Brian Pitt, Ward Childress, David Shook, A Sheep in Wolf's Clothing, Matt Jorgensen, visit Vanessa's Mom's Inn at Sassa Sanctuary, and Stu Skill. Send us an email. You know our email address, squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. If you don't want to do that, you can go on the Square Roots podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people, where there is now a group chat with 500 people. And tweet at us at FartRootsPod. I believe that's Square Roots Pod. Please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. And links are in the show notes. Vanessa.
Hi. If you're listening on Spotify and you're interested in some other more different episodes, please seek them out wherever you can find this podcast. That's not Spotify.
For the Square Roots podcast, I'm Matthew Van Zandt.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
That's pretty close, but I feel like I can do it better, which is I'm Jim Banks.
No, one of your eyes is open. Or both your eyes is open. You gotta close one of them.
Is both of my eyes open? Both of my eyes is open.
Hey guys, is both of my eyes open? Guys, can you check is both of my eyes open?
No, both eyes open. All right, friends. Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, listeners.
Goodbye. Did you see that picture Julio posted of like him and Josh out to lunch with these two big muscle bears? And Julio's caption was like, "Oh, it's dinner time for the big boys." My mom's like, "Lovely meal, Julio."
Those are the best. My mom does.
I did see that dinner
My
time
mom
for the
posts
big
on
boys
Jim's
caption.
post sometimes, and it's like, Jim, it's so nice to see you.
Well, that's
doing
because me
well.
and your mom are friends. We've met in real life. We had Greek food
John's
together.
Mom and
We had a
Julio are
great time.
friends.
Yeah,
Paul?
it's
John,
fine.
Jim, whoever I'm
It's
talking
true.
to right now.
Yeah.
I just called Jim Paul.
Wow.